29.3 points, 3.5 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, all in one NBA season. This is your father, Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas, a 3-time NBA All-Star, 11-year NBA vet, averaging 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists for his career. One of the best scorers that the NBA has ever seen, and you get to learn from him as your father. Could you imagine that? Well, for someone, this is their reality. Welcome back to another video, family. Today we're going to talk about one of the league's best scorers ever. But not him. We're going to talk about his son. His high school son, Alijah Arenas. Now, according to ESPN, Alijah is a 6'5" shooting guard out of California, and he's the 5th best player in the class of 2026. Now, the young Hibachi has a very similar game to his father, with excellent skills and scoring touch. According to Max Preps, as a freshman, that's 14, 15 years old, he averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1.5 steals and blocks. Now, the kid definitely is able to show his ability to score on all 3 levels, starting from inside the paint with his dunking ability, his finishing ability, to the mid-range game, to his post-up, and to the 3-ball. He actually recently just received an offer from UCLA. He's already a D1 athlete. But what makes a guy go from D1 to the league? Now, as I said before, they have him labeled as a shooting guard. So what does an NBA level shooting guard look like? Well, from what I've seen, I know if you want to make it to the NBA and you're a shooting guard, you need to be able to at least do these things. And that's 1, defend the 1 and the 2 at a solid level. You need to be at least 6'4" to 6'6". That's the average height of an NBA shooting guard. And last but not least, you need to be able to score the ball at the highest level. And thus far, Alijah, he's exceeded most of these expectations for his age group. Now, you also need to be a bit bigger, and Alijah's not the biggest guy in the world. He's weighed in at about 165 pounds. On some websites and other websites, he's at about 180. But obviously, as he continues to grow into his body, he's only 16 years old, he'll get bigger and he'll get stronger, which will make him a huge threat as he goes along in his career. Now, from what I've seen with my own eyes, Arenas already has a great control over the basketball. And as I said before, he's only 16 years old. One of the biggest things that I love about him is his pace. He plays at his own speed. Now, being on a lesser team in high school, his high school isn't a winning place. The teams that he plays, from what I've seen from videos and just watching his highlights from games, is that the defense usually draws a lot of pressure onto him. Now, for your average 16-year-old, if you're getting pressure from 17 and 18-year-olds in high school, and that's exactly what they're looking at, you're not going to do the best. But as I said before, he averaged 30 points this past year. So it's obviously working out for him. And this is very good for him because as he gets older, he's only going to get more comfortable with double teams, triple teams, teams setting up their defense strictly for him. He's only going to get more comfortable with that. And as he gets more comfortable with that play style, he'll develop more of a killer instinct like his father had. Also, being that he's only about 165 to 180 pounds, he's playing up against a lot of guys that are much bigger than him. And when there's people that's much bigger than you and can just use their strength against you, the way that you combat that is that you have to be more skillful than them. You have to use your jump shot. You have to use your finesse game. You have to find ways to score in ways that they cannot attack that. And the ways that they can attack it is if you shoot the ball well, if you can get the ball up, if you can get around them fast enough, if you can use your IQ of the game to be able to move around on the court. And he's doing all of these things right now. And as I said before, once he grows into his body and he becomes more dominant in terms of with his strength, it's only going to help and allow him to be more dominant all around. He'll be able to use his finesse game. He'll be able to use his strength. He'll be able to use his speed, just like his father. Now, I don't know about most of you guys, but I have a father who's very high on himself. And if I know anything about dads, every dad believes that they were great at a sport as a kid and they had everything. And if their back didn't go out or if they didn't get this injury or that injury, they would have been one of the best to ever do it. But for Alijah, this is the truth. You know, for his father was an 11-year vet. He had a knee injury and he never was able to quite come back the same. But his dad had elite level scoring, elite level ball handling. He was a bigger guard. And the only thing that you're going to get from that as his son is literally every possible thing that you can. You're going to learn how to dribble the ball in ways that other people can't dribble the ball. You're going to learn how to develop your body into this much more manly build. You're going to learn how to use your speed to get around guys and how to get to the basket. And as you've seen earlier in the video, he already got the athleticism. He looks more athletic than his father in terms of his jumping ability already at 16 years old. So these are all things that's only going to help Alijah as he continues to grow. This is a guy that you're going to have to keep an eye on because I believe from my eyes that he's going to be in the league one day. And when he gets to the league, he could be just as good or even better than his father. I see Mr. Arenas being able to help his kid out a lot just because he's been there before. He played up against some of the best players of all time. He had wars in the playoffs with LeBron James. He's had great games up against the late, great Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant. He's had games up against guys who are still the best today. Make sure you keep your eye out for this kid, man. He has all the resources. He has all the capabilities of being Agent Zero 2.0. Trust me, from what I see from this kid, I definitely view him having a bright future. And at worst, he's a college basketball player. Thanks for watching, family. I'll be back soon with another one. I'm going to let you guys watch just a couple more clips of him. And you tell me from your eyes what you see he needs to do to get better. Thanks, everyone. Until next time. Peace.